Hey, good morning. This is Steven. This is Show and Tell. This is episode 2. Gonna actually talk about some photo today. And first things, the video quality is not great. I'm on an older MacBook Pro, so yeah, my SLRs and mirrorless cameras shoot 1080, so they precede the 4K days, and therefore their connectivity is a little bit lacking when it comes to outputting for webcam use, since nobody was thinking about that back then. Audio is good though. Every time I'm recording, I need to move my laptop. I'm moving the microphone, moving my hub for audio inputs, so it's going to be like a couple inches off every time, and it's inconsistent in that regard. Also, the laptop kind of sounds like an airplane about to take off. I don't know, things could change if I pick up a camera that I'm looking at. Then that'll give me a lot more options in like focal length, composition, and moving the computer further away so that you don't have to hear that airplane sound in the background. Anyway, show and tell is not going to be super technical. It's going to be more about what kind of goes on in here when I'm taking photos and editing. And yeah, I'd say it's kind of like therapy too, to just talk things out and reflect. So today's photo, I'm not going to show it just yet, but I am going to tell a little bit of a backstory to how I arrived at that point in my life when I took that photo, I think. So back when I was 21 years old in college, I was frequenting the gym, just trying to put on some mass, but I was always probably around like 130 to 140 pounds max. One day, I don't recall the details, but I did strike up a conversation with another regular visitor to the gym, like a huge dude in his 40s, and he definitely weighed like twice as much as me. Out of the blue, like one day he lifted up his shirt and he showed me like this big knife scar in his abdomen, just like whoosh. And yeah, took me by surprise. I had no idea. But he would just like sprinkle in details about his criminal past, how he's like reformed and in school now, how he did time, the crew that he used to roll with, and they all had like matching Nissan Maximas, like 4 of them. And he told me about how he got stuck up at gunpoint once, and then he realized how it felt, what he had been doing to other people. It's weird. It's like I never asked about these things, but he was willing to share that with me. And I think, in a sense, this is kind of a privilege that people open up to me in that regard. Yeah, I don't know what to think of it, but I don't think people just divulge their criminal history to just any ordinary person. Aside from the stories, this guy was like working out with me, asking me to spot him, spotting me, even though he weighed twice as much as me. So I look like a stick figure next to him, and I'm helping him bench like who knows how much. It's been a long time. I don't remember the details. So yeah, that was me in my early 20s. I happen to also have a classmate in the same major who one day offered to take me for a car ride. I don't even know like how that happened or why I agreed or what his intentions were, but he took me probably like a few blocks south of where we were. This is in like the southern part of Queens, New York. So he took me to the hood, and he would point out like, oh, that's a drug dealer's car, like a Land Rover in like a real next to the projects. And yeah, it's not like training day, but I don't know why he felt like he should do that. Or the other guy in the gym would share his stories with me. Maybe I look like a super sheltered kid, or maybe they, I don't know, why do people share stories? Sometimes people just want to leave that mark, right, in the world. And yeah, fast forward to less than 10 years later, maybe I'm about like 29 years old. I will show you the photo. This guy. I was walking my dog every day. Sometimes I would bump into this guy. Total Queens character. This guy with his huge dog. He looks like he's in his late 50s or 60s. Looks intimidating. And we would just talk. And just like the other guys, out of the blue, this guy starts telling me about his criminal past one day. And it got dark fast. And so I could tell you like what I recall. His name is John. He told me that his nickname was Zap because he was a marksman in the military, like a headhunter basically. So his nickname would be Zap. And let's see, John told me that he was basically a hitman for the mob. He would tell me stories about the 70s. New York was like dark and gritty back then. Hell's Kitchen, they had nightclubs, and it was customary to leave your gun at the front entrance before going in, and you pick it up when you go out. Hell's Kitchen is like fancy now. It's like where rich people go to buy nice condos and whatnot and eat at fancy restaurants. But it's like a really dangerous place back in the day. And John would also tell me about how after people performed hits for the mob, they would flee the country and go to Mexico and lay low for a while. It was really weird, and I don't remember how the conversations went. I just remember hearing these details. Maybe a part of me was just politely listening out of a bit of fear. I think eventually I was carrying my camera with the intent of catching a portrait, just because we sort of opened up and had this casual relationship, like we're on friendly terms, and I wanted to do something nice to him and nice for him, take a nice picture for him to have, because he seems like a single dude just with his dog. His dog, he mentioned, was getting kind of old, so I wanted to do this for him. So yeah, I had black and white film, HP 500 Ilford, I think, and camera is most likely Minolta Maxim. What's the American name or Japanese name? I think it's a Maxim 7, Japanese Alpha 7. So yeah, this picture is it's not like a fancy portrait, it's a snapshot. However, I believe that both professional, like super technical portraits as well as snapshots hold equal significance. And just having it is important. You don't have the pictures that you never took. You do have the ones that you did take, and then this is something he'll have to look back on wherever he is today. So this is like 2013 maybe, and 8 years ago today. So yeah, it's been a long time. I got the photo printed, framed it, put another copy of a slightly different image behind that one for him, and yeah, I think he appreciated the gesture. I am remembering some other stuff he mentioned. He was sort of like he had like this survivalist mentality. Like, he said he had like hidden caches of like supplies here and there, in the worst case scenario when all hell breaks loose. Like, he had like a mental map of where all the police precincts were. And yeah, I think he was like very anti-establishment, anti-government guy. So sometimes I wonder though, like, these random stories, do I just take them with a grain of salt? Are these like people practicing to be professional actors? Are they just pulling my leg? There is that possibility. I can't just like call them out and say like, hey, I think you're lying to me. But yeah, especially after they tell me like about all these dangerous, terrible things that they've done. So yeah, you can wonder, like, is fear an inspiration? It could be for this type of photo. Like, I don't want to be on this guy's bad side, you know? The other inspiration for taking this photo was about the unique access that I had that no one else might have. Like, maybe he has no family who would have done this for him. Maybe he's fallen out of touch, and that's why he's just striking up conversation, like really long conversations with some stranger on the street. Yeah, sometimes there's that, there's like a tinge of loneliness that I pick up on. So it's not about like exploiting so I could like tell a story about all these like bad dudes I know, but it's about appreciating the access that I have in sharing these moments with these people. Yeah, let's see. If I had to guess focal length, I'd say 35 mil or 50 mil, but again, I'm not trying to be technical. Self-scan. I think scanning black and white film is really easy, and especially Ilford HP 500, it's so flat that it's easy to correct skin tones and yeah, just have that nice detail. Yeah, back to me. I could put a link to this photo. It's like in my really old personal Instagram that I haven't touched for a long time. Anyway, that is today's show and tell. Just sharing a moment that I had along with another member of the planet who happened to have a very dark history. Alright guys, take it easy. Thank you. Comments if you want. I know it's early, I probably won't get any comments, but I'd be happy to answer them. Take it easy guys.